two sides of how this, and usually we talk about the first side, the belief side, is going into something and the negative self-talk that we have. What part of that is like we're looking at, there's a comparison and looking at other people around us. It could be people that are doing what we want to do, or even what you just talked about. I'm in a room with people that I kind of like what they do. And so being able to stop yourself, pause, and praise the good things that you are doing, have done, and also recognize the accomplishments, recognize the time that you've put into this, recognize that there's other people that see you in this space, which is why you have some of the conversations you have, which is why you're at the tables that you've been at. That's a real part of that. So the other piece of this, and especially with negative self-talk, is this idea of like your past proof. It's looking at this and saying, hey, what is your brain pulling in? And so much of our self-talk and our internal conversations can be negative and are going to pull in the times when we fell in our face, or going to pull in the times of, or even the ways that we don't measure up to the people around us, to the people at the table with us, or the people that are out ahead of us. And it doesn't even matter sometimes where we perceive them to be, because sometimes our perception can even skew negative or positive. But really it is getting to the place where, like, hey, from a belief standpoint, are we going to pull in past proof that's going to build us up, or past proof that's going to say, hey, you really don't belong here? And those two, we can find whatever we want. When you're getting a new car, we have this thing in our minds that's going to find all of the things that are like what we're looking for. When we start looking for something, we're going to find it. And you want a red car, and you want a red Toyota such and such, a RAV4, you're going to start noticing all the RAV4s. You're going to start noticing all the red ones. They've always been there, but that's the thing. And so if we can try to retrain our mind to find the positive things, and to interrupt, like you mentioned, Jared, like I'm gonna pattern interrupt, because there are these, we think in loops. And so pattern interrupting here. The other thing gets into the identity and gets into like who we view ourselves as. So pulling this, like being able to have like these true statements for us, being able to recognize what are the false statements that I'm telling myself, and how do I get to the point where I am more so leaning into like the positive aspect. The other piece of this is just what we view as qualifiers. So what are the things that we view as important in this space? When we're going into things, and a lot of this can just be self-analysis. You can think about what people, generally speaking, are looking for. Sometimes it is a degree, sometimes it's some letters, sometimes it's some certifications, and those can be helpful. Sometimes those are required for certain spaces. In a lot of spaces, people just want to know that you know the stuff. People want to know that you're the guide around that. And so if you want to add some letters, if you want to add some certs to help you get in more doors, you can do that. But it's really thinking through and dealing with like, what are the qualifiers? The second piece, and I think that this is the piece that often we don't talk about as much as it relates to imposter syndrome. Most of what we talk about, and most of what I hear about, is just that self-affirmation, is the positive talk. You do belong here, and it is looking at your experiences and so on. All of that is good. But there's a set of skills for where I'm going, and really kind of taking the time to say, hey, what are the skill sets that I need? And a lot of times that feeling, and it's a thought process, and it is also a feeling. Like there's a feeling associated with it. So for those of you who have experienced imposter syndrome before, and you think about one of those, like a statement that it would be like, hey, here's why I don't belong. How would you describe that feeling in your body? Whether it's words, whether it's a particular sensation, etc. Anybody. An anxious feeling. Okay, say more.
Can I add something too?
Yeah, please.
I think another symptom of imposter syndrome is undercharging, not feeling like you're able to charge like market prices or what you actually offer is worth.
100%. 100%. And people have a sense of that too. I think that this getting in front of people and doing this stuff, I think, dogs and sharks, they can smell fear. They can smell when something's a little off. And when we come to the table and we should go scared. Even if we're scared, we need to show up. But at the same time, when you can deal with this stuff ahead of time, it does, and you can, when you validate in your mind and when you believe in your mind, this is worth every bit, every penny of what I'm charging here, and you can look at what other people are charging and you can validate, hey, this is definitely worth it. It is going to change both how people receive it as well as your ability to put a value and a dollar amount on it as well.